What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Welcome on in, each and every one of you. Come on in, each and every one of you sneaky little snackers. I know you're out there. I know you're hungry, but you don't want people to know about it. So you are sneaking those snacks, and when I draw my 3 cards, you're going to come right back to the battlefield, tapped to enjoy the show just a little bit more. Hello, everyone, and how are you? This is Hunt the Week. It is a weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Arena Gauntlet League that we know, love, and play in. And this is Modern Horizons Week 3. How are you doing? Are you all drowsied out? Do you have the energy to continue? Maybe if the format was a little bit more modified, you'd enjoy it more. Or maybe the league just needs to be more... you need more affinity for the league. Okay, those are the key words. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home, the pride of Mardu. And I am here to talk about what's going on in Modern Horizons Week 3. How am I doing? How are you doing? We're going to talk about the format. We got a great guest. Let's go ahead and get to the show. And I named all those mechanics earlier because there's just too many mechanics.
Too many mechanics, baby. Too many mechanics.
That's right, too many mechanics. Can't keep track of them all. There's always an extra one waiting to be seen on some weird card on a bonus sheet. I have none of those bonus sheet cards. The special guest, special list, I don't even know what they are in this set. But man, there's some really good stuff out there, and I don't have any of it. Let's go through your top 8 for Modern Horizons 3. Starting in at number 1 right now, Daniel G. Frisky Hobbit. Second place, Nick A. Neestar with the 5-0 on the week. Congratulations, Nick. You got yourself a podcast invite. He's coming up later. Bob P. Hit. Way to go, Bob. What is it with Bob and Daniel? They have babies and they start doing great. Everyone have a very newborn baby in your life, and maybe you just do better at Magic, seems to be. But great to see Bob up there again. Zach C. Zach Carr, 11-2. Joaquin E. Diabolic Machine, 11-2. Evan C. Peas of Crab, 11-4. Dan H. Dan 12456, 11-4. Thomas C. Jamboree, he's back. He's back, everyone. Watch out. He's still alive. He's still coming for you. 11-4. That is your Modern Horizons 3 top 8. We got a couple runaways, right? 13-2. Whew, that's a pretty good record. A couple 12-13s or 12-3s. Gonna be we've got 3 more weeks, but if they can keep that up, I mean, Daniel's on pace to break a record. Basically, he goes 13-2 again. That'll be 26-4. That's the best ever. And if there's anyone who can do it, it's Daniel G. Frisky Hobbit, who's really just been having what a year of Magic this guy's been having. Really, he's always doing great. He's played in so many mega drafts. He's won 2 leagues this year. Wow, I mean, what can be said? And how did I do? Let's go through it because I talked to my guest about it. But I've been playing a lot of practice games. I've been doing that thing where I'm taking the advice I give out on the show, which is play practice games. They really help a lot. And as you could tell from last week's episode, I've kind of been struggling in the format and not really knowing what deck to play and what I'm doing. And I've been having a hard time. I've been posting about my deck a lot. I keep getting different answers of builds from different people. Started the week 5-5, pretty even. 3-2 week 1, 2-3 week 2. On blue-black. Okay, we're playing blue-black draw cards because I've got like 3 copies of Unfathomable Truths. Lose my first game against Johnny. Super good player, had some great games. But lose, open up some good red. And you know what? We're on Grixis now. We throw in that good red into blue-black. I like Grixis. Why not? Win a game, great. Lose another game, uh-oh. Open up some good green cards. And I have liked my green from the beginning, but my green hasn't had the oomph. Like I still have no colorless cards. I've got 2 Ulamogs, but I still have no colorless creatures in my pool. And my green tops out at 4 mana. Like, I'm not ramping into anything, and I'm not playing Ulamog. It's bad. But I finally opened a territory color, that green thing that every time you play a land, you can draw a creature top of your library. And my deck, this is what we do. We're 5 colors, but we're mostly green. It's like 15 green cards, a few red cards, a bunch of 4 unfathomable truths, a bunch of card draw, and then just every MDFC I got. So I'm playing 21 lands, 9 MDFCs or something, and went 2-0 in my last 2 games with it. I am feeling good. Basically, I'm on 5 color stuff, but really it's a heavy green deck that's just splashing a bunch of pips. And we got Cthulhian Nightmare in there. We got Genku. We got all the hits. But we also have a Deluge. But we have tons of green, so we can be somewhat consistent. The mana has been okay. So yeah, even though last week I said don't play 4 or 5 color stuff, this ain't the format. I'm back on 4 or 5 color stuff, guys. I don't know what to say. But really, it's a reserved 5 color. If you know me, it's definitely a toned down 5 color deck. And I'm really liking it. I'm playing more practice games with it, and it really does help a lot, especially with my build and what I'm doing, because I'm playing a lot of those fetch lands, a lot of those fetch for any 3 colors, because I'm playing 5. And there's definitely games where I'm like, I go to fetch, and there's no land in there. I can't cast this card. I need one more blue source, and how am I going to get there? And finding some fun combos. I got a Sylvan Safekeeper, which goes really well with Genku. Eventually, you can just flood the board. And you know what? I can't tell you how long it took me to realize Genku had more text at the very bottom of his card. The pay 5 mana, put a counter on all your creatures. I didn't know why. I just never noticed that for like a week or 2 into the format. But I went 3-2 on the week. Feeling better about the deck. Feeling better about the games, although I will say I'm just seeing a lot of green Eldrazi decks. I really love it when I pair up against the energy decks or something different. I played against Zach L this week, who is playing a really neat burn deck. I thought that was really cool. I'm enjoying seeing some of the different archetypes out there. I like watching the blue-black deck. I think it's, I like playing all the card draw because I want to win some kind of game, and I'm not going to win the big creature game. I don't have the big creatures. So I got to win the value in the card draw game, which has been working out. Eventually, if I can just draw enough cards, I'll figure out a way to make it all work one way or another. I hope you're enjoying Modern Horizons 3. We're opening up Modern Horizon packs. Like I said, I'm really liking it. Let's check in on Sealed versus League. League, I like it. I like where we're at. But I also just had some really fun games this week. It's a complicated format is what it's taking me a long time to adjust just to how complicated it is. Like, it's so easy to misplay and so easy to miss the correct play because there's just so many things to do. And it's so hard to find the deck you're supposed to be playing because cards are just so strong across all colors, and it's so easy to play multiple colors. We're going to see as we go on if it's these super strong rares that are helping people win. Is it slim deck building? Is it a lot of luck, as I always say? You never know. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I like the draft too. I think I'm just a little over it at this point. We're a few weeks in. I've done a lot of them. Tried to buy the win a box thing. Didn't go well. Didn't win a box. Had a couple attempts. So I'm just kind of taking a break. New Elden Ring DLC's out. It's very good. I'm checking that out. But there's more I'm checking out on the server. We may not be having any side events right now, and sadly, we are going to be saying goodbye to feature matches for hopefully just a little bit, as there's been a lack of participation. I do love the feature matches and what Richard does. He's been doing those longer than I've been doing the podcast, so it is sad to see him not be around, but I get it. It's not fun. It's not fun to try and talk people into doing something. Sometimes I have to go through 2 or 3 people until I find a guest, and after a while of talking to people and asking them to come on, explaining what it is, and no after no. It's not fun. It definitely takes some of the joy out of it. But I hope they do come back because they're super fun to watch, and like I said, they've been going on a long time. But that's not all there is in the server. There's also some great players, and I had one on this week. Join me as we annihilate entropy together.
And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation.
That's right, I got on someone Someone who I never really talked to before. Again, they're somewhat new to the league. They came in at OTJ, Outlaws of Thunder Junction. They're back for Modern Horizons 3. Two different leagues. What very different mechanics, right? Outlaws of Thunder Junction, we had the general store that the prices were dynamically changing. You had the duels, you had the bets, you had the wanted people. You had all these different mechanics, or gimmicks as I call them in the interview, which I am corrected. Sorry about that. But to Modern Horizons 3, which is just, we're playing Modern Horizons 3. It's a strong set, and that's all you get, and you got to make it work. That's right. This week I had Nick A., a.k.a. Knee-Star, on the show. 5-0 on the week, currently in second place, and didn't know it when I asked him on the show. English, living in the UK. But we were able to make the schedules work and get them on. They were awesome to talk to. Again, so easy, and I learned a lot of really fun questions from the league in there. Let's go ahead and listen to my interview with Nick right now. All right, everyone, join me as we annihilate entropy this week with Nick A., a.k.a. Knee-Star. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Hello, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Hey, happy to have you. We were just talking. I think you're the first UK English guest on the show. Very excited to have you. Not a ton of them in the league, and it's so cool, so awesome to have you, Nick.
Yeah, I think when I joined the league, there was only maybe one other person from the UK, and now since we had this buyback promotion in MH3, there's quite a few now.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, good to do this. So
yeah, it's a worldwide league. You gotta represent where you are, and we got some UKers in here now joining up with all the other Europeans. We do have a smattering of Europeans now. You love to see it. But Nick, I want to know, when did you start playing Magic?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a Magic baby, I think. I started in 2022. My first kind of full set that I played was Neon Dynasty, and that basically made me fall in love with Magic. I love that set so much. It's my favorite set.
Yeah.
And since then, I've just been every Friday down the local game shop playing some draft. I only play limited.
What was it about limited that, like, why haven't you moved into any other formats? Why limited, Nick? What is it?
I think there's something about limited. Just every time you play, you don't know what you're going to be playing, and there's that excitement. I do love cracking packs, right? I think we all do. And yeah, I think just generally in life, I'm someone who likes to live life kind of just gamble in life.
Yeah.
No, not in the bad way.
It is a certain kind of person, though, a certain kind of personality that prefers limited to all the other formats. There's so many to choose from, and limited is kind of like the least chosen, really, right? Like, so it is. We're a little different than limited players.
Yeah, it is. Like where I live, there's a lot of Commander players. I think we get about 10 for a draft on a Friday, and there's like 30 players for
Wow.
Commander. And I mean, personally, I'll be honest, I don't get the appeal. But yeah, competitive limited is definitely my love.
And you came to the right place. Neon Dynasty, a great place to start. What an awesome draft format Kamigawa is. Like, we've gone back to it now once, and I hope we go back again, because it's a really fun one. All the ninjutsu stuff and the enchantments and Seiju, so fun. Nick, we're not here to talk Kamigawa as much as I would love to. I could talk about it for a while. We're here to talk Modern Horizons 3. We are in Modern Horizons 3 League. We are wrapping up week 3. We're wrapping up week 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, week three. 15
Sorry.
games played.
15 games played. I had to do the math in my head. I was like a 2, 2, 2, 3. My numbers aren't great, so I have to do a lot of addition. But your numbers, you're doing fantastic. 5-0 on the week in Modern Horizons 3 League. I want to know, how's it going? It sounds like it's going great. And what's helping it go so well? How you doing so well, Nick?
Yeah, well, it definitely didn't start great for me. I think I was 1-3 in week 1, And
I love the turnaround. That makes it even better. I
it,
love that.
well, it, yeah, so I started 1-3 and I just thought, wow, this is going to be a really, really bad set. I got a good pack. I think it had Detectives Phoenix in it.
Nice.
That card is just insane.
Yeah.
And a couple of the dual face lands, Stump Stomp and the red white one, which are the three colors I'm playing. I'm playing Naya.
I'm so impressed
But
by that red white land. It's steal like I can steal a game with that land sometimes. It's crazy.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's one of those where I'm hoping that my opponents are not checking my pool and they know
Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah. It's so
Um,
fun.
so that pack obviously helped, but I mean, obviously it wasn't just the one pack. I think I have been very lucky. You have to be to win 11 games in a row now.
Wow. You're on an
Um,
11 game win streak?
well, I mean, yeah, I started 1-3.
Oh my
Um,
God. Sorry, I'm not. I don't have your record pulled up. I just know that you went 5-0 this week and you were in first. So I was like, wow, Nick's doing great. I didn't realize 11 game win streak. I mean, I don't know what the record is. I want to say it's 15-ish, but you're close, Nick. You're very close.
oh yeah, but I gotta say, I don't think my deck is that good. Obviously, it's good. Um, but what's been winning me games has been well, I've got a few good rares. Obviously, I mentioned Detectives Phoenix.
Mhm.
I've got an Eldrazi Linebreaker, which has been doing
That
quite
card,
good.
yep.
That's the one that gets trample for not trample. You can
Is
get
it?
+1/+0 for every Eldrazi you have, and
Yeah.
haste.
Hmm.
So that's nuts. I've got Springheart Nantuko as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I've actually been winning a lot of games with is Trample and Death Touch together.
Ooh, that's a good combo.
It is a very good combo. I've had a couple people message me afterwards and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize that would kill me." Um,
I know how you're getting trampled. At least I think I know how. There's a couple ways to do it in green with the Hydra and the equipment. How are you getting Death Touch? You just putting it on a Death Touch, or you just Hydraing up like a 1/1 or something? How are you making that combo happen?
oh yeah, I've got I think a couple Gift of the Vipers. You know, the one
Nice.
mana green instant, which is even better, obviously, because if they do know about Trample and Death Touch, they don't see it coming. Um, and yeah, I've got three of the Colossal Dread Masks, which I only realized this week were a play on Colossal Dreadmore. So, you know, very good wizards there. So I've got three of those. Eldrazi Linebreaker, and it's just been doing a lot of work for me. And the other thing is that I think I put in a lot of practice. So if you're looking for matches channel, I quite often rather than just going and playing a draft, I like to play some AGL practice matches because it's just as fun. It doesn't use any gems, and you know it can help me understand my deck better, make a few cuts, make a few changes. Like I used to run the Thief of Existence, that Eldrazi. Do you know the one I mean? The green rare.
Yes. Yes, I do know.
And yeah, that guy was just not doing anything in practice matches, so I took him out, and I think that really helped as well.
That I can't stress enough how much doing practice matches helps your game. Just to like exactly find the cards that aren't doing much. I've been running a few over the last couple of days, and I'm on like 5 color. I mean, I'm on Teamer 5 color is what I'm calling it, but I'm playing a whole bunch of those 3 color lands. Um, and I keep having issues where I'm like, I go to crack them and I have no more lands to grab. And I'm like, oh man,
What are
I'm so
you?
so glad I'm doing these practices because I'm having issues.
I've got your pool. I'm wondering what the reason is for you to be in 5 colors.
I mean,
What's in?
I'll tell you. So in white, I'm playing 1 white card. I'm playing a Genku. And I'm playing 2 black cards. I'm playing Toxic Deluge and I'm playing Cthulian Nightmare. Um,
Ooh,
so those are
very
my
spicy.
so those are my 3 cards that make it 5 colors. But like they're kind of free because if I'm playing 3 colors, I'm playing all those other lands anyway. So like it's not messing with my
Mm.
mana base too much. Um, And those cards are just so like Toxic Deluge is the card that like if I draw it, I probably win. So like it's the best card in my pool. Like I can't not play it. I need it in there. But I am also playing a very sketchy like all my lands. I'm cracking them for different colors very slowly. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. It's a slow, steady game plan. But I've got four of the unfathomable truths. So it's like I'm just trying to draw 1,000 cards and like outvalue with card draw. That's kind of the game plan, and then eventually cast all these powerful spells with all my lands.
I mean, it definitely sounds like fun.
It sounds like fun. It's going okay. I don't know that it's going great, but I also don't know what else I would do. Like I was playing blue black and it was okay. I was having fun with it, but it went 1 and 2, and then I opened some good green cards. So I was like, well, I've got so much green. I'll ask you this, Nick, on the pod, on the air. Should I play Ulamog? I've got two Ulamogs and I make so much mana and I have so many dumb spawns laying around. I can pretty consistently get to 10, but Ulamog doesn't seem. What? I play him, I exile half their library, he dies, and then what? I lose, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I built your pool and I didn't put Ulamog in.
I've never seen one cast, not once, ever.
Yeah, it's the one that, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the stats on Sealed Deck Tech, and Ulamog's win rate in Sealed is 51.6%,
Oh, that's bad.
which is, yeah, that's real bad.
That's
Um,
bad.
it's probably a little bit better in AGL, I think. It's a little bit slower, right?
Sure, yeah.
But it's still not, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. If you want to have fun, just jam two in, try and ramp as hard as you can. Um, but probably I'd say no.
Yeah, I think no.
I don't know.
I think no. I think we splash Nightmare and Toxic Deluge and Genku. That's what we do instead. Well, thank you for looking at my pool. It's not a bad pool, but it's not super cohesive at the same time. I know we had actually talked a little bit. You were. I don't want to talk too much about my pool on the show, but I got you here and we're talking. You had said you had built Gruul, and it's like I do love my red removal and my green, but then most of my other red cards I'm really not that into. Like other than outside of
Yeah.
the removal and like a siege gang, it's like the rest of it's not anything I want to touch. So that's where the blue comes in, my friend. That's where the blue comes in.
Yeah, no, well, it wasn't just Gruul. I actually ended up going Naya, same as what I've got with your
Yes,
pool.
nice.
And I've got two red creatures. Um, the rest is just all the removal. But you have three galvanic discharges, four fanged flames,
Right?
and that's pretty amazing, right? So
Hard to
I
not
don't know,
want to
there's
play
something
those.
there.
That's what I'm thinking. Although at this point, and I probably shouldn't give all my secrets away, but I've cut all the Fang Flames just because uh, I'm a little scared of not hitting red, and it's not an instant, and stuff gets bigger than 4. It's all a problem. Everything's a problem, Nick. Uh, but you're doing great, and your deck sounds really fun. You're naming all your rares. You got a lot of the really strong. Well, you got a lot of the ones that I just lose to in draft all the time. Um, it, so it sounds like things are working out. 11 wins in a row. Currently in first place. This is the best you've done, but you're fairly new to the league. You came in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Very different leagues. So this is what we call a vanilla league, where we play the same set the whole time. You only get punishment packs from the same set. There's nothing crazy going on. No weird mechanics. No gimmicks. But you came in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which was like gimmick on top of gimmick on top of gimmick. I'd love to know what you thought about like the two and juxtaposed. Was there one you liked more? Do you like this more because it's straight magic? Did you like the other more because it's more interesting and different? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think when I saw the I guess advert for this league on Reddit, and I read a bit about the like what it was, and I read it again and again and again, and I didn't quite understand exactly how it worked, but I just thought, hey, it sounds interesting. I'm just going to sign up and we'll figure it out. Um, and all of the gimmicks that were in OTJ were a bit much, I think, for a new player. So I spoke to a couple of people at my LGS about this league, and a lot of them had a look at it, but they just kind of didn't get it either. Um, That being said, once I actually started playing, I really loved the. See, I'm going to stop calling them gimmicks and I'm going to call them features because I really enjoyed them. I took part in the duels, although I have to say I didn't do great with those. I took part in the saloon. I won a lot of money betting on myself. Um, and the store that the being able to buy packs from all different sets was really 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 interesting. Although I will say that I think that feature in particular had a few issues because the pricing wasn't perfect and I didn't know what all of the sets did, so I felt like I couldn't make very good decisions on what set to buy until I figured out you just had to buy every Capenna pack. um, so it's kind of there's pros and cons. Overall, I think I prefer at least having a little bit of complexity to a league. I can appreciate a vanilla league, and I know there are a lot of people who I could see who kind of, were not um, a fan of everything that was going on. But it was, except from the store, all optional.
Mhm.
So, I think somewhere in the middle is perhaps what I think would be my ideal league. Um, and even though I'm going 12-3 this league, I think I've enjoyed both leagues about the same so far, to be honest.
That's good. That's good to hear because they're very different. And I think there's a spice for every kind of player. Like we had Tony on the show last week who says he was waiting for a vanilla league to come back because he, like you see you read these complicated rules and it's like you just don't really get it until it's going and you're in
Mm,
it. And then it makes sense. Like once you start experiencing it and you're buying the packs and you're getting the message as soon as you lose. Hey, what do you want to buy? Here's the prices. And then you the games within the games.
mm.
But some people love that. Some people love that more than playing Magic, right? Like they're like, I want something unique and different. But you have your people that don't want that. Everyone's a little different. I think that's what makes it work by like kind of switching it up every set is like you'll get more complicated stuff, you'll get less complicated stuff, you'll get insanely complicated stuff. But it's all fun. And it's like if you get into it and you try, like it's cool. The people that what they're doing here, it's really neat. It's all these people are designing the game and they're making it fun. Um,
Yeah, I will just say that I think the whole league in general, I've been super impressed since I joined. I think you guys obviously put so much effort into the league crafting, the content creation, the community aspect. All in all, it's just a great experience to be a part of. So thank you to everyone who's
Thank,
involved.
thank you to everyone, and thank you to you too, Nick, because it takes people like you to come in and enjoy it, right? Like we can't just have the same 20 people in here enjoying our nice fancy server playing games against each other. We want more competition. We want more players in the UK, like we want this to be more of a worldwide thing, and it takes people to make it happen. We all came in at some point from somewhere, and we all got different things out of it. So do what you can, be a part of it and enjoy it, right? Like it's a beautiful thing that's going on. And yeah, I also agree for everybody that works hard and designs the league. And thank you all. Thank you to everybody out there. Oh boy. Now I don't even know what to talk about. You got me all choked up talking about the league. I think is it Bloomborough that's coming out next?
Yes, yeah, and then
Right?
another set about a week after that.
Is that oh yeah, that's right. Isn't that like the new core setter foundations? Or is it
I think
Duskborn?
there's Dusk. I don't know what's first between Duskmorn and the Foundations, but
I hope, and I don't think it's been confirmed, but I really hope Bloomborough is going to be a faction league where we all get split up into a bunch of small teams for all the color pairs as animals. We'll see. It's been whispered about, but those are fun leagues because those are kind of like you and 12 other people are on a team, and your records all count together. But you guys have your own like secret space on the server to like make plans and whatever it is. So
well, that
hopefully
sounds
it's a
that
fun
sounds
one.
unreasonably cool. Yeah.
We'll see if they do it. I don't, we already had one this year for Cons of Tarkir, so I don't know if they'll do another one, but oh, it does seem good. Well, how did you do in OTJ? Where did you end up?
I th I ended up how many games in total? It was 30 games, right?
30 games, yeah.
11 losses. I think I was 13 or 14 wins.
Nice. Above
Um,
that 50% line.
yeah, exactly. I had a point around this time actually in the league where I was maybe top 16, but then I kind of all fell to shambles in the last few weeks.
It happens, man.
So I'm praying that doesn't happen this time.
You either fall to shambles or you rise to glory. Right now, you're on your rise, Nick. 11 wins. Oh, you're on a rise. Keep it up. They do fall, and eventually you're going to need those punishment packs to kind of help even things out.
I
But for
mean,
now, enjoy your wins.
yeah, I've already locked in a positive record, right? Even if I lose every game.
Yeah,
So
you're going to be getting at least
there
your
we go.
$5 back, right? Well, you're fairly new. Like I said, you've only been in one other leagues, but you've seen two very different kinds of league. You've seen the infrastructure. You've played with the bots. You've played with the players. You've seen how leagues end and begin. I want to know from your perspective, is there anything that you would change or think that it could be done differently, Nick?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue I've had is just that, and I don't really know if it's even kind of fixable, but I wish there was a little bit more European time-friendly activities going on, perhaps outside of the main league. Obviously, you can do that whenever you want, but some of the other things going on, some of the like side quests and things, I think I would like to be more of a part of, but there isn't many times where I can because they kind of start about midnight. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's been the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, because even now as we record, it's like past 10 p.m. Your time. Like it's not easy to get people from the other side of the country on the show. But I totally get that, and the hope is, as more people from that side of the world come in, the more possible and likely that is, because they try and do stuff all the time, and then it's just like there's not enough participation. So it's just more. You just need, once we hit that number, whatever that number is, where people are available and like ready to do it, uh, because they want to. They tried. Richard's tried doing feature matches at earlier times. We've had leagues where things were designed to come out earlier in the day for European players. So I think you've just been kind of rough with the duels, like the last two leagues. The last two leagues have not been super European friendly. But hopefully more will come. And we're seeing more and more Europeans all the time. So yeah, it's got to be a change. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I don't think it's anybody's fault. It's just, yeah, as you say, there's just not enough of us yet, but we are growing.
You are growing. You will become one. All will be one. Nick, I would love to know, what is your favorite Magic card? This will tell me so much about you.
Oh man, it's a really tricky question. Thinking about what my favorite card is, and I've just kind of I think my favorite card is one that I've had a lot of fun with in Cube,
Ooh.
and that is Kiora Best the Sea God.
Ooh, Nicholas, we are speaking a language. Go on.
I mean, I think in general, sagas are my favorite design of cards. They're just so cool
Mm-hmm.
in that they're kind of historical. And I actually am someone who cares about the feeling of Magic, and sagas are just a great example of a card that are so flavorful and they kind of tell a story. And I mean, I'm into history anyway, outside of Magic. So I like sagas. And then Kiora Best the Sea God is just a nuts fun card to
Yeah.
play. Tap everything, make a Kraken, and it's just awesome. It's just an awesome card. And tied with Kiora Best the Sea God. Actually, well, slightly behind that, I put Sublime Epiphany
Oh,
because
Nicholas, I like this color. I like the color these cards are from.
yeah, that card just does it all. Like if you have that card in your hand, you're just not worried.
Yeah, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite cards to have in Cube too. It's like if I open a pack and Sublime Epiphany's in it, it almost doesn't matter what else is in that pack. I'm like, all right, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get that dumb Sphinx that like lets you cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard when it enters play. We're gonna loop that. We're gonna make another Sphinx. We're gonna cast some other spell. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah, that's a fun Magic card. So much value, right? Both those cards, just so much value.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a value addict.
Value, and you like the blue. You're a blue mage, even though it doesn't sound like you're playing it in league. I appreciate that.
I mean, I don't know if I'm a blue. Well, I just play whatever I have to. I'm such a competitive player, you know. I think some people kind of go to drafts with an idea of what they're going to play,
Hmm.
but I will just take what I think is the best thing every time. Um, but I'm definitely not opposed to playing blue. I think some people are disgusted by it, right? You know,
Yeah, some people they don't like it.
anti-fun, but
Yeah,
it has to be done.
yeah.
It's
Someone has to
healthy.
say no, right? Yeah, someone has to say no. Someone has to say, I don't think you should be playing that card. Stop. And then I'm going to draw 10 cards. It's going to be great. uh, well, Nick, we have a bunch of questions from the league. We always ask, they do not disappoint. Are you ready for your league questions?
I'm ready.
Our first question comes from Richard K. Preacher. He loves the food questions. Favorite local or regional UK dish that North Americans have likely never heard of?
Yeah. I don't know if Richard has ever been to the UK, but there really isn't any good UK food. Um, I think the best UK food is just when we rip off other people's food, like a curry or a Chinese, which is not Chinese or curry at all. They're just UKified versions. Um, there is one good food place in the UK though, which is Greg's. I don't know if Americans know what Greg's are. Have you heard of Greg's?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I know what it is.
Oh right. So it's just a bakery.
Okay.
They do amazing, just like sausage rolls, steak bakes, everything like that. And fun fact, there's more Greg's in the UK than McDonald's.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
what's a steak? What's a steak bake or a sausage roll? I need to know what these things
You
are.
don't know what a sausage roll
I
is?
mean, I would assume it's like a sausage, like kind of like a pig in a blanket, a sausage with like a croissant around it or something. But other than that, no, I don't know. What's a
It's,
sausage?
no, it's a pig in a blanket, not sausage with bacon around it.
No, pig in a blanket is like it's like a hot dog with a croissant wrapped around it, basically, but they're tiny. They're like a mini hot dog and a
That's
mini
nuts.
croissant. That's at least what we
That's
call them. Yours sounds
No, that's
better.
crazy. Yeah, pigs in blankets are a food we have at Christmas,
Whoa, what?
and they are sausages with bacon wrapped around them.
Sounds way better. Sounds way better. How
But no,
how
yeah. If you want to know what a sausage roll actually is, though, it sounds like what you were just referring to. Yeah, it's just like a sausage in pastry.
and steak bake? Steak and pastry?
Yeah,
Is the steak like
delicious.
stuffed inside? Is it kind of like a donut filled with steak?
It's not a sweet pastry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
That'd be
it's
gross.
they're like squares, and they just have steak in, and it's quite saucy
Ooh, I like a
and
sauce.
absolutely delicious. If anyone ever comes to the UK, go down Greg's, get yourself a steak bake and a sausage roll.
I love it. What a recommendation. Our next question comes from Jack H. Rakic. What does an ideal punishment pack look like for your deck? What's your dream open right now?
Yeah, wow. This would give me good dreams, I think. Um, Obviously, the third loss I had, that pack was really good for me. As I talked about earlier, that was the one that had the Phoenix, the two dual face lands in,
Hmm.
and the colossal Dreadmore mask. But if I could really conjure up a dream pack, it would definitely have a Writhing Chrysalis. Despite being a Naira, I actually don't have one yet, so
Wow.
you know that'd be great. Um, Probably a second area auxiliary. That card is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite cards to kind of combo with things that want counters on them.
Hmm.
I take a Malevolent Rumble just for consistency. I've only got one of those. Um, Path of Annihilation because I've got things like I've got the Eldrazi Linebreaker, so I just want
Yeah.
to go wide with my Eldrazi and it's fixing. Um, more MDFCs, maybe like a Bridgeworks battle or the red one that makes everything can't block to finish would be good.
Yeah.
Um, and then I haven't actually said a rare yet. So for my rare,
Just pack
I
straight.
would take. I mean, obviously, I'd just take like a second of whatever I've got. Another line breaker would be great, or Spring Heart Nantuka or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I would also really like a six because
6 has been really good. Yeah.
I just think six is such a great card. It's just the engine factor of it. And I need three drops. So give me a six, please.
There you go. Give him a 6. Give him I want to see you Nantuku. Your Nantuku. I don't even know what happens if you do that. I just want to see it happen.
Nantuko has never actually gone that crazy for me today. I played a practice match today where I copied a newswag, which was really good. But that's the best it's ever done for me. I mean, just making 1/1s is good, as you've seen at the Pro Tour.
Yeah, you really need it's hard to get that because you got to put it on something kind of cheap for the most part, right? Because you don't want it to be like the last card you play. But what cheap, really good rares that you'd have to be like Soul Guy Lantern or some busted 1-drop rare or something. You're putting it on to really, really go crazy. But I mean, it still sounds really fun.
Yeah, I mean, players in this league are generally good anyway, and they will just destroy whatever creature it's on. So
Tell me
no
about
fun
it.
is allowed.
Yeah, I keep trying to drop Tameo on turn 2, and it just dies. No one lets me have my Tameo. Come on, let me have some fun. Our next question comes from Dirk E. Began Blue. Dirk, who I believe was playing at MagicCon Amsterdam all weekend, looked like a blast. Dirk says, "What is your Ravnica guild of choice? You said you'll play anything, but what is your 2-color preference?"
My 2-color preference is, well, yeah, I mean, I would play anything, but if I had to choose, I would probably choose Boros, just
Okay.
because I think for me, I'm just kind of into the maths of the game a lot, and
Ooh.
I like just figuring out, what's the most damage I can do? How can I be the best aggro? And yeah, well, aggro is the easiest way to do that. Boros, of course, the color of aggro. So yeah, and I'm loving aggro and MH3, by the way. I think I've had the most success with Boros so far in
Really?
draft. Yeah,
I mean, I've played Boros and I've seen it do pretty well, but it's definitely not one that I've been doing super successful with. So that's cool to hear. I like playing the energy style, like the Jeskai energy, like Scurry of Gremlins has been so fun. I love that card. And I don't know, it's just so fun.
yeah. Weirdly, I've had a lot of success with Boros, but not a lot of success at all with as Azorius. I was trying to remember the name of it then.
Different tropes. I'll have fun with my blue, and you can beat in with your little red guys.
Well, at least we
Your
can agree on
bugs.
the white.
Dirk's second question, I think this is a pretty interesting one. How do you prefer your breakfast egg?
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint Dirk because I don't like eggs.
Oh, Dirk, we don't get an answer for you. I'm sorry.
I don't like eggs. I don't really like breakfast at all, to be honest.
Well, that sounds fair. You're trying to put steak in donuts. It sounds crazy over there. Well, we'll have to come back for you next week and get another egg because I thought that was a good question, Dirk. But yeah, it's fair. Doesn't like eggs. We don't know how to prepare them. Evan C. Peas of Crab would like to know why Lord Xander, your avatar. What made you pick Lord Xander?
Yeah, Lord Xander. Lord Xander is a Maestro's card, right? Blue, black, red, which is my favorite 3-color wedge. So that's one side of it, and then the other side is, aside from Kamigawa, one of my favorite sets is actually Nuka Penna. I know that's quite controversial. I think at my local game store, it was one of the only draft sets which actually didn't fire every week because
Really?
people just really didn't like the set. But I did. Yeah, I love the heavy theming of it, and I did well in it. So I've gone for Xander because he's in my favorite colors and one of my favorite sets, and
I love it.
he has crazy drip.
He's got crazy drip. He's got that Riz. No cap. No, but Xander's a sweet card too. Does a lot. Real fun one.
I don't think I've ever played him.
Yeah, he's fun. He's one of those cards though. You play him and he just dies right away because he's like too good.
Looks like a commander card to me.
Our last question is going to come from Ryan M. Rerd, and this is a great. This is what we call in the biz. Geez, I can't think of the word. A bookend. We're going to bookend. You said it at the beginning, so we already know the answer, but we get to talk about it. Best limited format of all time.
Oh wow, yeah, we get to revisit. Yeah, Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty. I would say almost a perfect set, except from the fact that Boros was bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, Boros was absolutely basically unplayable in that set. But aside from that, it was just such a fun set. Each color pair doing completely different things, and the theming was so strong and interesting to me.
Yeah, and cool art, great style.
Yeah, cool art. The extended art versions of the cards were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like just being able to ninjutsu a saga is just such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, that is
while
cool.
also not being too complex for because I was a new player at that time, but I was able to follow Kamigawa.
Yeah.
So.
And here we are in Modern Horizons 3. Well, I would say this is a very complex format, right? Like I'm seeing stuff happen and be wrong, and I'm doing the wrong thing all the time. It's hard, and Kamigawa is just it was a really cool time and a really fun set, and yeah, I agree with you. It's one of the best. What a great time to come in on it, and it hooked you so much. You came into the server, you came onto the show, you went 11-0 in your last 11 games, Nick. That's going to do it. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on. I wish you good luck the rest of the way. Like you said, even if you lose out from here, you're going to be winning positive, but you're in a great spot to just keep on trucking and try to make your first top 16, maybe even your first top 8. I'll be rooting for you, man. So go out there and keep playing your practices. That's what you need to do.
Thank you very much.
Again, Nick is awesome, and I kind of took his advice. I love what he said when he was like, instead of looking for draft games, I look for practice matches, and that's what I've been doing. I think I played 4 or 5 practice matches this week, which is a lot for me. I normally don't play very many, but I'm really enjoying them. They're helping me learn my deck and some tricks a little bit more, and yeah, they're also just fun. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with them. I hope I do as good in my real matches as I do the practice matches, because the deck's been performing. So it's been increasing my spirits. And I want to know all these weird foods he had. I want to try this steak bake. I want to try it. I haven't Googled it yet. I probably should. But love talking to Nick. Again, what a nice guy, a great player. What a good addition to the community. Highly recommend if you see him looking for a practice match, you take him up on it. He might even build you a deck. He took a look at my pool and sent me his build. It was really cool. I really appreciated it. Thank you so much for coming on the show and for building me that deck, Nick. And that's going to do it for the show this week. This is the end of week 3 for Modern Horizons. I hope you're doing well. It's going to be a tough one to get into that top 8. You're going to need a very good record. We're going to have to see what it is. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's all going to work out just like normal. These scores don't look too crazy. I mean, 13-2 is pretty fantastic. But, a lot of these, it looks fairly normal. But with this many people and this many games left, we'll see. A lot of these people in the top 16, they're just not losing a lot. And that's what you got to do to go all the way, to get to that mega draft, to get to that Player of the Year tournament. I hope to see you there. I'm trying so hard. Everyone knows I'm trying to make Player of the Year on points for throughout the whole year, and I need to do okay. I need to do at least okay in this league to keep that dream alive. I'm going to be pretty bummed if I don't make it off that. So trying to keep my leagues at least somewhat consistent, trying to make it to the big tournament at the end of the year. I hope you have a goal for yourself in mind for the league that you are trying to accomplish, whether it's top 15, top 16, top 8, or maybe that number 1 spot. Rebuild your deck, play some practice matches, start a side event. Well, we're dry. Someone get some side events going. I miss them so much. I can't wait for the next Roto. Until then, we'll see everybody here next week. I hope that Shuffler is in your favor and you get to keep a good 7. That's what it's all about. Or at least you just draw 3 cards again and again and again, so you can just fix your good 7 till it's, a great 7. Until then, bye everybody.